like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, y'all, I'm back with another flashback. This flashback features Kaja and source code, both from the light-crowned MELANIN tribe.
Boy, do I have an interesting topic today. Boy, do I have an interesting topic today. Today's topic. You coming out here? You gonna be able to jump on a live like that. You coming? Oh, you left the phone in the car?
Yeah, it's only on 4%.
Oh, man.
Charge it.
King Kaja, you got so much Kaja to Christ.
Oh, goodness.
So today's topic, if I can get all of this out. Did we remember all of it? I said on my Ox Live, Armand's Live, that one of the patterns in life is that black people will never have a savior, so to speak. And even if they did, other black people would do what they could to eliminate and shoot, crucify is whatever, but to eliminate or frown upon whoever that is. Let's see, maybe it does work, but yeah, I gotta put that as a title. How do I put that as a title? Do I put it as a? Or did I have to do that first? Well, how do I? What did I want? Black people will never.
You always try to eliminate the
Black people will never have a savior. That's it. Okay. Yeah, it's been black people will never have a savior. So I've been thinking about the topic for a while because no matter how much I think about the pattern in life, it doesn't matter what black leader pops up in life. Black people will always be the one to eliminate him or her. That's what I've noticed. Yeah, you can do that. That's what I've noticed, and it's quite interesting how every other nationality of people are way more unified and love themselves a lot more than black people do. Black people are suffering, as we call on this frequency, are suffering from a lot of self-hate, from hating themselves. You know, it's quite embarrassing at times when I compare the way that black people live. It's quite embarrassing at times when I compare the way black people are, so-called black people are, to other nationalities of people. They not having the same issues. You know, anytime black people come up with some kind of hero or some kind of person that's supposed to save everybody or be a messiah or whatever, it's not even the other races or quote unquote nationality. Excuse me, I said that wrong. The other quote unquote races and other nationalities that hate on them. You know, it's always quote unquote ourselves. You know, it's always ourselves. It's something about darker skinned people, man. The only answer I can think of is like a self-hate. I remember talking to Armand about all of this. But I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I don't know if there's like an African Messiah. I guess even what was it? Nelson Mandela was one of the ones for Africa, but we see what happened with that. Uh, even Eligio and Eligio tried to be that with the Nature Boy character, but it's the same shit.
I have to interject here because, yes, Eligio, aka Nature Boy, aka Three God, did make an attempt to claim that he was the Messiah. However, everyone, a blind man could see that he wasn't the Messiah, the return of Jesus. The only people who believe that are the ones still there proclaiming the kingdom. I know you don't even believe that source code. I know that for a fact.
Man, same shit. Peace and love, but that's the same shit. But black people ain't never gonna have a Messiah, man. They ain't never gonna have somebody that they can look up to and love, no matter how virtuous a person is, no matter how virtuous a darker skinned person is. It's just, I'm gonna save it. It just, that's just how black people are, man. That's how darker skinned people are. It's a lot of self hate. It's disappointing at times, but it's like I just think it's a part of life. Peace, God. You want to come up here too? It's the same conversation me and you had, man. It's the same conversation me and you had. I just know it ain't happening. No matter what we do, black people always gonna hate on black people, man. We the only people with the worst type of music, talk about killing ourselves and killing our brothers and sisters and fighting and stealing girlfriend. Ain't nobody else talking about that shit, man. Nobody else talking about it. It's shameful. It's shameful. Like even when I look at all of the hype surrounding carbonation and surrounding Legio, white people ain't trying to take Legio out. It's niggas. Just niggas. Nobody else. Nobody else. You know? Everybody else ain't giving a fuck. But it's always our own that sabotage us. So for me looking at this objectively, I would say black people are very big on self-sabotage. Self-sabotage. If we got something going, somebody gonna fuck it up, man. Somebody gonna fuck it up, I guarantee you. Or a group of people gonna fuck it up. You know?
Now, I'm going to have to disagree with you right here because I don't believe that black people took Eligio Bishop down. I believe that Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Three God, did it to himself by way of his actions, by way of how he treated people, spoke to those people, and handled the power that was given to him by those people.
That shit whack, man. That shit whack. Even with me doing my thing over here, I even understood that part of the problem is people like to hold other people up to a standard that they themselves aren't going to try to achieve. Like you see this man or this woman who says, okay, here's this leader, right? I see this person as a leader. I'm going to hold that leader up to this certain standard, but me myself, I'm not going to do that shit. You see, I'm going to let them stay under the fire, so to speak. That shit whack, man. That shit whack. I think as a collective, as a whole, black people the weakest people. Black people like to stand under this delusion that oh, we the strongest and we royalty and we this and we that, but you can't be unified. Last time I checked, kingdoms are together. Like royalty stick together. Last time I checked, you got black women out here calling themselves royalty, but they thotting it up, being with any and every nigga. But somehow they royalty. Okay.
Now, I'm going to speak for myself and all of the queens and goddesses that I have surrounding me. We are definitely royalty, and we definitely not thotting it up. We always keep it classy. And honestly, source code, maybe it's the women that you're coming across. Maybe it's the certain black women that you are attracting.
We delusional as a whole. Darker skinned people delusional as fuck. Just delusional. It's ridiculous. You know. I see you, Lindsay. It's ridiculous, yo. The identity crisis issue is something that's interesting to address. Black people truly don't have no identity. They say, oh, we're everything and we're nothing, and motherfuckers don't know, man. The best thing to do is stick together. If you ever seen the movie, Taj, you remember that movie Divergent that we watched?
Yeah.
You remember how in the Divergent they had 5 different groups, right? They had 5 different groups.
Yeah.
You cut out. Sorry, I didn't hear you, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm sounding good right here.
It sounds like you're cutting out more since you've walked away from the front door area.
All right, I'm gonna come back over here. But yeah,
the 5 groups. There was the
Go ahead.
There was like the leadership ones. There was the ones that took took notes and were supposed to remember everything. What are their names?
And let me refresh your memory. Let me refresh your memory while I walk around Walmart. So you had the erudites, which were the really intelligent ones, and then you had the group that was the Amity or whatever, Amoeba.
For those of you who do not know who the young lady is at the bottom of the screen, that's Kaja. Kaja is one of the ex-members who actually went to be Eligio Bishop, a.k.a. Nature Boy, a.k.a. Three God's wife, while they were in Nicaragua. She was there briefly, of course, because he was arrested. So once he got deported, she actually traveled to California with him, Velvet, and baby Eliana, and helped them out, really get them back on their feet, so to speak. So that's who she is, guys.
But whatever that shit was, they had that one. They had the Dauntless, which were the ones that liked all the danger and did all of the dangerous stuff. And the Dauntless were the ones that killed people, and they just didn't have.
They were dauntless.
Basically, anybody that killed anybody, they could be in that group. They were dauntless. Yeah, they didn't have any fear of anything. They didn't have fear of death, nor did they have a fear of killing people. You had the group that always told the truth no matter what, and you had the group that was just farmers and shit, right? And then you had Divergence. Now, the people that didn't fit into any group, remember they created their own group. Remember that?
Yeah.
Because once they on the third Divergence, they went through the desert, and after they went through the desert, they I'm gonna stand on this spot over here. After they went through the desert, they went and found that group. Abundance guy by this spot, baby. They went and found that group, and y'all give me a second. There's a lot of distraction shit right now. I'm in the store. But they went and found a group, and they was their own group with their own abilities and their own talents and all their own skills and shit. But it's kind of the same way with black people, man. It's like create your group, create your thing, and.
All right, y'all. I hope you guys are enjoying this video as well as my commentary. Be sure to drop me a comment. Hit that like button and share this video, guys. I'm trying to get all of my re-uploads back into the suggested videos for YouTube. Of course, most of you know already, I am working diligently to get all of my content back on YouTube with my commentary so that I can meet the YouTube guidelines. And a big part of that is you guys smashing that like button for me and dropping a comment in the comment section. So thank you guys for your support, and thank you for understanding. I'm getting tired of these flashbacks, but it's kind of interesting looking back at my channel and, looking back at these videos. So I'm trying to stay patient with it, but it's a huge undertaking, guys. So thank you so much.
Be done with it. It's kind of shameful, though. That's what I was saying. It's shameful. It's shameful how when we try to come up with some kind of leadership or some kind of group, it's always other niggas that try to do it. People say crabs in the barrel, crabs in the bucket, whatever. Fuck that shit. The problem is the black community is the only community that doesn't practice supporting each other without some kind of fucking drama. If you ain't got this drama and shit going on, if you ain't being ratchet as fuck, if you ain't being quote unquote lit, as people say, and it's educational and not edutainment or entertainment, motherfuckers not caring. They're not paying attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. That's the sad part about all of this stuff. You know? That's how I've been feeling, man. That's all I've been thinking about. It's a lot of work to do the right thing. It's a lot of work to tell the truth and to be the truth. It's a lot.
And you're
just want to be entertained, man.
Actually doing, like, I know from watching you and from being here with you, is like watching you every day, actually setting like the example that, like, say Eligio had been promoting, you know, and saying, like, move to the tropics, you know, eat from the earth, you know, connect with nature, all of those things. And he wasn't doing them, which is fine. That's his right. But you actually are doing them. And people are just focused on all that nonsense.
I'm very happy that Kaja actually stated that Nature Boy was preaching get back to nature, move to the tropics, and live one with nature and eat from the earth and all this other stuff, and acknowledged that he wasn't doing it himself. So she can speak on it because she was definitely there to witness it. So I'm very happy that she actually said that.
Like, but here you are setting a good example.
The truth, and the biggest part about it to me is I notice now that the black community is only paying attention to the distractions and the drama, just all the negative shit. Like, you got all this shit going on with the Velvets and the Venus Sublimes and the Nine God and all of that shit. You ain't learning a motherfucking thing. All you doing is getting entertained by fantasy and shit. That's all you doing. That's all you doing. It go to everybody. I know y'all gonna watch this shit. What are y'all learning from those people? Nothing, nigga. Nothing.
I am
nothing.
Watching them, so
nothing.
Definitely.
All you doing is get distracted from what actually matters in life. That's all you doing. That's all you doing. You know? That's the biggest part about all of this shit that y'all watching when it comes to this drama and this quote unquote frequency. Y'all motherfuckers ain't learning shit. Nothing. Nothing. World News 2, hey, that's the homie, but hey, he doing his job. He doing his job. He doing his job. He reporting. He doing his job.
Bro, I don't know what kind of Solar you're watching. Solar in Babylon getting arrested doing some dumb shit.
First off, that's not how you spell Solar.
It's not.
First off. It's not how you spell
and
Solar.
That's not how you spell World News.
Second off, there's a reason in life, when people can show you, you can learn from it. Man knows not by being told. Remember that phrase. Man knows not by being told. That means you gotta show somebody. You gotta show somebody. You can't say shit. You gotta show them. You see? That ain't nobody else doing this, man. Ain't nobody else. The closest thing to a person living and breathing and being the example and showing it is Holy Haven. Holy Haven. That's it. Holy Haven and me. That's it.
Now, I have seen Holy Haven, and I will tell y'all, they are definitely living in nature. They eat from the earth. I believe they're all raw vegan. And it seems to me that it's majority women. They have built a beautiful community, and if I'm not mistaken, they have extended invitations for people to come to their community and live in nature with them for like a period of time that they choose.
Us. But you're the only ones doing it, man. You can say there's other people out here doing this and doing that. What's going on? Okay? So, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
The only one actually doing what everybody's talking about that should be done. You're the only one doing it. And I know I'm here watching it. I'm here experiencing it, and I'm here in growth mode because of it.
100%. I've been the truth, man. That's all I can be. Ain't nothing else to be. Ain't else to be but the truth. The reason why I'm free is because I tell the truth. The truth is the only thing that can set you free. That's it. That's it. The lies are what cost money. Think about this. When you get lied to, you're gonna end up paying money. 100%. I am lying eyes, Will. Anytime you get lied to, you're gonna pay money. For example, when it comes to certain foods that you eat, when it comes to certain foods that you eat, you're gonna have to pay too much money for it. That shit ain't the best for your body. That shit ain't the best for your body. And then you're gonna go to the hospital and have to pay more money. You ain't doing nothing but lying to yourself about your health. Right. That's it. That's it. The lies are always more expensive than the truth. Always. I've been this, man. Lying eyes, Will. I've been this. I've been this for 7, 8 years, man. I've been like this. People know me. People know me around here too. I got a certain frequency, a certain energy. Honesty is the key to the kingdom of heaven. It's a lot more than honesty, Uja. It's a lot. It's a lot more than that. It's a formula. That's the damn system. They don't want us to be healthy. Well, I want me to be healthy. You want you to be healthy. And there's no one else's choice when it comes to your health. How you want to be is your choice.
I definitely agree with that point. You know, it is your responsibility and your choice whether or not you're going to be healthy in your life, whether or not you're going to pick up the right food like fruits and vegetables, or if you're going to go with fried chicken every single day. And it's also your choice if you get up off your behind and do some type of exercise to keep your body motivated and moving. So no one can really blame anyone if they're unhealthy unless there's some type of clinical diagnosis that prohibits them from doing, healthy things. I know one girl that I grew up with, she actually had a thyroid issue and it blew her up. Blew her up. She was once really, really small, but because of her thyroid, she got so big. Eventually she lost all the weight, but it was terrible.
It's your choice how you want to be. It's crazy, but I do feel Talib is the real chief. Hey, you're on to something there. I am. You're on to something there. 100%. There's a reason why I've always been like this. See, when you follow the truth, it ain't gonna lie to you. It's a certain feeling. It's a certain feeling that go along with it, and there's certain practices that go along. It's the basis, though. I understand. One of the more important parts of life, Uja, is learning fundamentals. Fundamentals. It's the basis, though. I understand. Fundamental. Okay, one of the fundamentals of life is your immune system is one of the strongest, most important parts of your body. Your immune system. The healthier your immune system is, the better you're going to feel and respond to certain electrical stimuli. The healthier your immune system is. When you're not healthy, it's harder for you to respond better to what's going on outside of you. Did you know that? It's harder to respond. It's harder to respond in a healthy way because when you're already feeling unhealthy. It's also harder to respond when you're not practicing virtue. It's harder to respond. You see? It's fundamental rules that will come to you, whoever and wherever you are. Gotta go keep shining your light. See y'all next time. Peace and love. It's always easy. Dang, what was I gonna say? I should have said that. But yeah. It's certain practices that you can do that objective truths just come to you. You don't have to watch anybody. You don't have to do anything. You just have to do certain practices. And then the truth just comes to you and it speaks through you. It speaks through you. I couldn't say, I know I can speak objectively. However, I want to touch you. I want to touch you while I'm watching. I want to touch you as my reflection, as a piece of me, you see. So, I'm very self-aware, man. If you ever look at my astrological chart, it'll tell you I'm highly self-aware. Highly.
For those of you who do not know who Uja is the young man that joined Carbonation while they were in Atlanta. He was like 6'4", 6'5", big dude. And Nature Boy was saying that he was the security. That's Uja, but he went by Ja when he was at Carbonation in Georgia at Mama Cookie's house.
Highly self-aware. I know how I'm treating myself. I know how I'm treating other people. I just know what's going on, man. I've been doing this a long time. I've been perfecting my craft. whether it be working with my hands, whether it be speaking with my mouth. Like, I've been doing this a long time. I've been practicing. And of course, as I like to say, practice is the perfect part. It's not about the end part. People like to focus on the end goal and shit. It ain't about that. It's not about that. The practice is the perfect part of anything. The practice. Anything you practice, you're always going to get better at it because you're going to want to see better results. Every time you practice anything, anytime you want to learn, you're going to keep practicing so that you can get better results. That's what makes it so perfect. That's what makes it so perfect.
Practice is perfect.
I ain't planning on practice. The practice is the perfect part. 100%. Peace and love. Who did I just invite over? Peace and love. Let me hear it. So yeah, I appreciate the hearts, y'all. I just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit, share my thoughts. Welcome to the room, by the way. See, you got colors and shit going on. To whom do we have the pleasure of speaking with right now? To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Hi, Khadija. How are you?
Hey, Aisha. Okay. Peace and love. Thank you.
Talk to her. Oh, she just wanted to pop in. That'll work. So yeah, yo, I'm always gonna be an example. Character L, you already know what time it is. Ujah, y'all know what time it is, man. I'm gonna continue to do what I'm doing. Ain't nobody else got these results. Like I said, you either gonna support the drama and the entertainment, or you're gonna support the real thing. As I know, the further you get away from me, the more you lie from me. The more you lie to yourself. Let me say that again. Hold on. Let me make sure I say it and deliver it right. The further you get away from me, the more you're gonna lie to yourself. Who else telling you that? Who else
No
saying
one.
that? The further you get away from me, the further you get away from code, the more you're gonna lie to yourself. Guarantee you. The further you get away from me, the more you're gonna be doing bullshit that you ain't got no business doing. And it's quite possible that the further you get away from me, the further you are from your highest self and your highest thoughts. You gotta be seeing a pattern that's showing you the best example. It ain't just talking. Yo. Who else doing this stuff? In tune with nature, growing the food, speaking different languages, networking with other cultures.
Growth.
Who else doing
Focus,
it, yo?
not healing.
Growing abundantly. Come on, man. Speaking objective truths. It is a lot of fabric.
All right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True, many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy and I love this book.
Stuff out there, but guess what? There's only one truth. It's only one truth. And all the fake stuff has to exist in order for the truth to exist. The lies have to exist in order for the truth to exist. So appreciate the lies. Appreciate the fabrication. Appreciate it. Value it. You need it. But the one thing you still got, and the fuck shit and the bullshit, when your heart weak, that's the only time you're going to gravitate. That's the main time you're going to gravitate towards that shit, when your heart is weak. Like, I'm glad I finally quit smoking cigarettes. I'm glad I finally stopped doing that shit. So it's like, now my heart's strong, so I got way better experiences. Even though I always had my clarity in me, no matter what, the experiences, the negative experiences don't pop up as much. I don't see those simulations or those patterns as much on the outside. Yeah. I shoot hook. I shoot, man. I shoot. But yeah, man. I like being way stronger now. I just all the time I feel swole as fuck all the time.
I know y'all just heard him say I shook hum canoe. That's Tron, guys. That's what he goes by now. Home Canoe.
Time I just feel way better that I finally got.
Hey,
I shoot, boo. I shoot. Peace and love, man. How you
Hey,
doing, man?
fantastic,
Talk to me.
fantastic. Oh, looks my phone might die. Hold on. I just wanted to tap in and want to say thank you to all y'all, man. Y'all really doing your thing out there, man. I've been following Source Code for a minute, seeing your journey, you and the Queen. You know what I'm saying? So respect to y'all, man, for real. Like everything that y'all doing. Salute, salute. Feel me?
Same, brother. Same. You know, I got to salute. You've been putting in a lot of work over the years. Of course, I've been watching and eyeballing and lurking and
You
doing my
feel me?
thing as well.
It's a fact.
Of course, man. It's all respect. 100% respect.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. We only bigging up each other, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, learn one, teach one, you know what I'm saying? Each one teach one. So that's why I appreciate you know, just the journey and, you know, everything, man. Everything. Oh, can I plug my phone up now?
Hey man, so y'all want to tell me about like how y'all been feeling about always
What are you doing?
experience
Mm-hmm.
like
One second.
like y'all always gaining knowledge? Because today I just had a big lesson. Today was a big lesson for me, man.
What was the lesson?
And then like here's the part for me. I feel like I should tell my life story so where it could better influence other people if they was going through this situation. But I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to explain my whole scenarios. I just want to basically ask y'all about how have y'all been managing y'all scenarios through big life lessons. You feel me? How have y'all managed y'all life lessons? Like just to keep it more simple.
That seemed like a loaded question, guy. I personally just focus on learning more all the time, just building experience, just learning as much as possible. Me working with Francisco, I get to learn a lot of things that I've never done before in my entire life. So I know that as long as I'm doing these new things, that my mind is expanding. So I say that one of my lessons in life that I needed to learn was I didn't know everything and I needed to know more. There is no like apex of knowledge or this apex of wisdom that I'm gonna get to
Right.
and then that's it. Like no, this is
Right.
a continuous
But so
journey
Talib,
of learning at
like
all times. Yes, sir.
let me ask you this. Like, so the shit that like you have been learning is not for you. It's not
I would say it is for me. It's for me and everything else.
in your
It's
life. This
simultaneous.
is beautiful. I like that. I like that.
Now, I know 3 of the 4 people on the panel. We have Source Code, Kaja, and Tron, a.k.a. Home Canoe. Home Canoe is his new name. But the 4th guy, I don't really know. Does anybody know who that is?
All right. That's great. I just had to understand you.
Because anything and everything that I learned for myself, as I've said before, I'm just a servant to humanity. So the more I know, the easier it is for me to serve the rest of humanity. I'm already going to be serving myself anyway by learning, but I'm also getting to serve humanity in a more facilitated way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of the purpose of life. How can I work better with the humans? How can I work better with the animals? How can I work better with nature? How can I work better with it? How do I make it more efficient? How do I become the facilitator? That's what I think about every day.
Beautiful.
I've put myself in a position to where I built a home. I renovated a home. Something I've never done before. It took for me to come to the tropics to do all of this stuff. I renovated homes. I'm a plumber now. I do carpentry. All of these skills I learned over here. But I'm aware that I learned them not only for myself, but so that I can help other people when they need help. Well, I'm the repairman, the maintenance guy. Anytime anybody need anything, they calling me. I like that role. I love that role in life. I'm Fix It Felix. I love it.
Hey, that's dope. Absolutely.
I love it. I think especially especially as men, I really think that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Fix shit up.
Making sure we build everything.
Yeah, making sure we build, making sure we tapping back into our skills, harnessing our skills. Like, society has watered down our our masculinity, divine masculinity so much that we haven't even, we niggas on the internet talking chatty patty now. You know what I'm saying? That's how much watered down the masculinity has got, to the point where we don't even handle things the way that we would have handled things back in those times. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and even getting past that, because even handling things in such like an aggressive, oh, come here, meet me at 6, I'm gonna be your ass. Even that's like a primitive level of thinking. Like, we were at such a higher level of intellect and knowledge where that wasn't even a thing, because there was no such, that we didn't have things like envy, jealousy, a lot of these 7 deadly sins that we be, so engulfed in today's society. So it's like, as we are raising ourselves back up, from this, like, mental sickness that we've been, engulfed in, it's like we're detoxing from all of this stuff, and we have to break through these levels. That's why you see so much drama online right now in the quote unquote spiritual community, and you see such a cesspool of toxic, energies, because we're breaking through the different levels of programs that we've been put under, that we put ourselves under. And it's going to look kind of messy in the beginning, but once we get past all that, we can kind of laugh and look back and laugh on it, because those things are like just like a baby stage compared to where we're going mentally, for those that are really able to make that mental shift. But the only way to make that mental shift and to step into the 5D and the true paradigm shift that's about to happen, that is happening, is that we have to, step out with achshuk, which is love, divine love. And if we don't have achshuk and divine love, it's going to be a lot of pain for a lot of people that aren't able to make that transition, because you can't fight fire with fire. You have to fight fire with water.
You said 2 things that are really interesting that I want to add to. Number 1, a man that is highly aggressive is the most sensitive man. The only reason he real mad like that is because he's sensitive as fuck. Okay, let's get that clear. So we can. I'm a real big person when it. How do I say this? I don't like when people try to mask their sensitivity with anger. I think that causes confusion, and it's a shitty way to communicate with other people. It's not a good way to communicate at all. We just need to be able to communicate our feelings. But of course, since the masculinity has been suppressed, men usually don't communicate their feelings unless it's anger. You see, it's anger. Dang, I forgot the other thing. Help me.
We were just talking, we were building, man. It's like, the masculinity part, being able to, and speak anytime it comes up, the masculinity part, you know what I'm saying, being able to communicate, because that's another thing. The higher up in the dimension you go, the more emotionally intelligent you have to be. 1 second. What's up?
There we go. Yeah, the higher up you go, the more emotionally intelligent you have to be. And what I've learned over the years is emotional maturity. It's actually a phrase I talk about often, being emotionally mature. I like to talk about, even if we're not going to say emotionally mature, I would say situational awareness, being aware of the situation at hand, knowing what to do and knowing how to respond to the stimuli, et cetera, et cetera. Health, I think health is a big part of that as well, because it affects the way that we respond. As I said earlier, when you feel better, you respond better. When you're feeling not good, you're not going to respond as well. I got somebody I work with, when he's not feeling good, most of the time he's just an asshole. So I have to be patient enough to be like, okay, he clearly not feeling good. So I can be patient. I can just be more patient with that person because of that. That don't mean I'm going to match his frequency or get just as angry or have these crazy responses. I'm situationally aware enough to know what's going on.
Everybody.
I'm very in tune with my environment. Humans are my environment as well. 100%.
That's true. That's truth, But yeah, man, it's a real thing, man. We have to, we have to grow and develop as men, especially because we're going to be holding, meetings and councils. And once we start to really make this shift, it's going to be a group of us, and amongst a group of us that we have to, we have to make, we have to make certain decisions within our own reality to where we're, emotionally intelligent enough to have communication. It can't just be, all of a sudden, I'm mad at you, you mad at me, Spartan kick your ass out the country. Like, it can't be that, you know what I'm saying? We have to be able to we're not primitive. We're not like them. That's the thing about it, is we are intelligent. So, you know, we have to use that intelligence. And I know that, especially in the hoods and the ghettos and stuff like that, it was kind of looked upon and frowned upon to be intelligent, because it's like, oh, you a smart nigga. That means you a L, you a square, and you ain't got, you know what I'm saying? It's like looked at to be kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you intelligent? Oh, you smart? Oh, you read? Like, it's just like looked down upon you know, as our people. Not everywhere, but I'm just saying that heavily in America, you know what I'm saying? That's a thing. So what we have to do is we have to start putting that back into power, because at the end of the day, a woman could get a nigga that had good dick, but if he ain't got no intelligence, eventually that relationship ain't gonna last. So we have to start, you know what I'm saying? So we
No,
have to
not at
start
all.
putting back, you know, the intelligence within our own people and make that a thing, because it really is a thing. It's just like the dollar. The only reason that the dollar, it has such power and influence, is because everyone's using it. You feel what I'm saying? So if
I
women are
fuck with
chasing a
that.
certain, you feel what I'm
That's a
saying? So
fact.
yeah. So if women are chasing a certain kind of man, because that's what the media is putting out as this is the prime example of what a masculine Nagaru or melanated man looks like, and this is what, you know, the woman should be attracted to, and she goes after that. What a niggas gonna do? We gonna start being like, well, man, you feel me?
Who do you
Yeah.
think? Who do you think is putting out the message of what women desire? Is it men or
It's
women?
both.
It's both. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I think that the biggest influence over the community is the
Absolutely.
music. So when I listen to the music, if the men are saying what type of woman they want, and the women are saying what type of men they want, I would think that they have the biggest influence over the rest of the
I
community.
hate making slow music though, man. Nigga.
So 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 it's important. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. I said that I hate making slow music though.
No, I was saying, so it's important to
Mm-hmm.
make our
Yeah,
own music
facts.
then.
Facts.
And y'all know, I don't know if we're all familiar with the 7 liberal arts, but music is one of them. Music is one of the most powerful things in the world. Music. That's why one of the things I like about old carbonation is making their own music.
Mhm.
Whole lot more powerful, whole lot less negative, not a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
It was good. Good music. Still
And
good to this
know,
day.
and you know that shit, like
You know?
with that carbonation shit, is the thing that like I didn't realize, but like we inspired so many people just doing what we were doing. It wasn't so much about the drama and like all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that was for whoever needed to tap into that at that point in time. But the reality is that there was always,
Yep.
well, there's really 3 ways to look at it, but there was really 2 ways that you could look at. You could have tapped into the drama or whatever like that, or you could have tapped into the inspiration and the things that were being.
I ain't even gonna hold you. Yes, they had some decent music, and yes, some of it was definitely like good music. However, Tron, aka Whom Canoom, is talking about, you know, it wasn't about the drama. Carbonation was all drama. There wasn't any inspiration really outside of the music. There wasn't any inspiration. Carbonation was full of drama left and right. That's how Haligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, aka Three God, wanted it.
You know what I'm saying, pumped out of that, you know, whatever you want to call it, tribe, organization,
Mm-hmm.
this, that, and the third. If you just look at the
Mm-hmm.
blueprint and you look at what was, you know, being presented, there was a lot of good, you know what I'm saying, especially from the beginning, that should be taken and should be utilized in your daily life. You
Especially
feel what
for
I'm
the beginning.
saying? And that's
100%.
really what it was, you know what I'm saying? So I think that amongst many other organizations and groups out of there, like if you look at the Nation of Islam, yo, no one's topping the Nation of Islam's order and structure. I'm telling you, the way the Nation of Islam is when it comes to order and structure outside of the knowledge, because I'm not like, I don't want to get into knowledge too much about, you know, but the
I know.
organization, Nick, you can't like tell me that the Nation of Islam ain't functioning. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's just what
Yeah. Islam,
you know what I'm
clear
saying?
Islam.
Yeah.
Got the ladies. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Very organized. Man. Very organized. That's what we need. That's what
For
we
real.
need.
Just a quick FYI, Tron, aka Whom Canoom, is now a Nuwapian. So he follows the teaching of Malachi Z. York currently.
You know, it just, I don't think, do you think there will ever be like just one group for darker skinned people to follow?
No. It's not. It's gonna be a group of people, bro. It's gonna be a group of us. That's just what it's gonna be. It's like there's gonna be a different groups Because different levels of consciousness. You know, if we try to put everyone underneath one umbrella, it's not going to work like that, because we have different people that are here in different cycles of time experiencing different things. Some people are going to have to come back next in the next reality in order to get certain messages. You feel what I'm saying? So we have to take into consideration that everyone's growing and developing at their own speed, and that you know what I'm saying, we just have to do what we're going to do. Now, this is where we have to get to, though. We have to get to a point, just like the Arabs do, just like the Chinese do, whether or not you're like, even like, all right, so if you look at Asian people, right, all Asian people relatively, they work together, whether they're Buddhist or they have, you know, certain kind of
Yep.
belief systems or whatever like that. Generally, as a whole, they work together.
Yep.
So if we look at Nagatos or
Yep.
melanated people the same way as, like, all right, you might be Muslim, you might be Nation of Islam, you might be 5%er, you might be Nuwapian. You feel what I'm saying? Like, whatever sector you're in, if we just start trading and, you know, start utilizing ourselves as our resource, we ain't got to agree on the knowledge. We ain't got to agree on all things. But if we start to put our conscious mind together when it comes to financial literacy and spreading whatever currency or whatever energy amongst our people, that is what's going to create the stability that we need in order for us to really get ourselves separated from, you know what I'm saying, the, you know, collective of which we are in as far as the melting pot goes. Because, you know, if you look around the hoods, the bodegas ain't owned by black people. They're owned by people that are foreigners. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like our communities are not being run by us. Our communities are being run and governed by people that aren't us, that don't look like us. So once we get back in control of our communities, once we get back in control of our school systems, once we get back in control of our narrative and our history, our story, right? That's when a real change can be made. But if we start giving, you know, our power to people that don't, you know, that aren't us, and this is not racism in the sense of like hate, this is just natural racism as far as separation goes when it comes to black ants and red ants. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we need to get back into that understanding so that we can start pumping our own narrative and telling our own story rather than having people trying to tell our story when it's our story, not his story. You feel what I'm saying?
So I got a question, Mr. Potter.
Hey, I feel you. I feel you.
I
got
got a question, Canoe. So, are you a person that considers yourself a leader?
I'm a leader of self. I'll say this. A lot of people be asking me certain things of that nature. I step out of the role of that because there's a lot of ego when people get into that, because everyone wants to be like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, da, 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 da. I've been doing this forever. I don't even do that, bro. This is me. I lead by example. You feel what I'm saying? So whatever I'm doing, I do my best at it. And I'll say this. I lead by example by doing the best that I can, meaning that if I'm showing something online, I try to make it the best I can, because I know that my public image online could influence someone in a positive or a negative way. Am I saying that I'm an all righteous, perfect being and I haven't done anything bad? No, I'm not. Because no one, ain't damn near anybody that could come up on one of these platforms and say that they haven't done anything, you know what I'm saying, that wasn't, you know what I'm saying, all the way correct. You feel what I'm saying? Because niggas got their own shit. So the reality is, I make sure that the presentation and what I do expose or what I do put up, as much as I can, I make sure that that is something that's, if it is put out there, someone could benefit off it and someone could move forward. Just like, you know, someone that works out every day and they might post a workout video and that inspires someone to go work out. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can do. You can't lead anybody. You can only lead yourself. You can't be the boss of anyone. You can only be the boss of your own self. And the reason I say that is because if you were to go to work tomorrow and your boss tells you to go and take out the trash and you say fuck you and then walk out, he's no longer your boss. That means you're your own boss because he suggested you.
All right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True, many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy and I love this book.
You to do something and you decided not to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's an illusion where we think that people can control you, or people have, and people can control you if they tap into your heartstrings and your emotions. You know what I'm saying? They got you. Whatever emotionally triggers you and has control over your emotions is your God. But if you start to gain back control of your own emotions and gain back control of your own mind, then you become your own leader. You become your own boss. And if people are influenced by that in a positive way, then so be it.
What makes people like you and I different from more than most, and I'm going to confidently say more than most, is the fact that we are in alignment with the objective truth. And everything that I just heard come out of your mouth is an objective truth. That's why you are the being that you are. That's why you are the creator, the potter that you are. You see, I'm hip on the words. I know what's going on with the middle nation. So I don't talk about it a lot, but I know. I just like that. Why did you give your? I wanted to ask a personal question though. Why did you give yourself, or were you named or dubbed?
That's the name that I gave myself through basically just basically being Nuwapi and a Sabian. We have, you know, a certain way about going about, you know, finding and basically tapping into your own essence of your name. So through chanting, through meditation, and basically just sitting with myself, I was able to come across something that resonated with the depths of my soul. Not my spirit, but something that resonated with my soul. So I sat with myself and I really took the time to do internal work through practicing our ancient Napathic or well, I would say it's original Arabic language, and I was able to tap into certain sound frequencies that actually resonated with me. See, I'm not like the English language is kind of distorted, very distorted, not even kind of, it's very distorted. And I'm actually learning a new language right now. So, you know, I'm tapping into more of the Aboriginal original way of our ancestors, and that's where I came into, you know, the language through the Nuwapic or Sebek language of our people. That's where I just, you know, resonated with.
You know, I've been following your story for a while, sir. I remember you thought a little different about the Nuwapians way back in the day, sir.
Hey.
What changed your mind, Doc? What changed
well, you know
your
what
mind?
It was, man? Honestly, I don't even necessarily think I mentioned about the Nuwapians, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I ever mentioned the Nuwapians back in the day. I might have. And I know back in the day, we basically, everyone that was part of the tribe at least, was basically just repeating the crap that old boy was saying. But that was just to push out, you know what I'm saying, more automative, you know what I'm saying, messaging. It wasn't anything, you know, coming from the soul. It was just autonomous repetition, you know what I'm saying, from things that were heard. You feel what I'm saying? Because it was more about sending out a you know, an echo effect of signals based off agenda of what someone is, you know, a lot of me getting so caught up in that, you know, had finances invested, there's pregnant women there, children there. I'm looking at, when I was there, I'm looking at it from a whole different perspective because I'm having, you know, like actual, you know, good amount of money in there. So I'm looking for this thing to succeed and fly by any means necessary. Yeah, dude might be a little off his rocker, but at the end of the day, I'm thinking he's going to, you know, pilot himself and be able to straighten himself out. You feel what I'm saying? We got like 20 plus people, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really focused on, you know, that being, you know what I'm saying, as like I'm looking at everything, you feel what I'm saying? So he's not my main focus. I'm looking at the collective. I'm looking at the group. I'm looking at things far-sighted, you know what I'm saying, beyond, you know, where people may be looking at it from the outside looking in. So, you know, that's where my mind was more focused on trying to facilitate and get things up off the ground, because I know that once we get up off the ground and we're, you know, out there in the midst, if that was, you know, a thing that was going to happen, things were going to change. You feel what I'm saying? I already knew that, you know what I'm saying? You can't, one thing about life is the only thing that's constant is change. So you can't stop the inevitable. People leaving and, you know, becoming their own and stepping into their own power and doing that was inevitably going to happen. There's no way that that person was going to be able to hold the frequencies of certain beings that were just going to, you know, rise up. It just wasn't going to happen. It just couldn't happen. Over time, it just wasn't going to be. You feel what I'm saying? So that was inevitable. You feel what I'm saying? It just happened the way it happened, which it looks messy and ugly. And that's, you know, that's what it is. You know, unfortunately, it happened like that. But that was an inevitable thing. How it happened, that was a mystery. But it happened, and it was going to happen. Solar was going to go off and do his own thing. I was going to go do my own thing. Whoever you see that was a part of that organization, that's where they're at right now, it was going to happen, whether it happened in a positive way or a negative way. So for me, I was just trying to, you know, do my best from behind the scenes to navigate the ship in a way to be able to push things, you know what I'm saying? Because people don't know what happens behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? So it's like navigating what I could behind the scenes, dealing with certain people, talking to them, having, conversations that weren't recorded. Like that created a lot of stability that people didn't see for things to, happen the way that they did in a different manner. You feel what I'm saying? So as far as the Nuwapians goes, my understanding of the Nuwapians and even the understanding of Nuwapians as far as how they had a hand in a role in Carbonation's information, that right there came to me after once I left, because then I had a chance to really dive deep into the character that y'all saw who was teaching certain information to understand that, wow, his information actually came from this dude, and he didn't even give credit and source and cite the information where he got it from, where he wants other people to,
What?
yeah. So there's a lot of,
So,
and I'm not here to, yeah.
So who the
That's
dude
new.
who had the information?
Oh, Dr. Dr.
Malachi
Malachi York, Pan and Bob Yanun, you know what I'm saying, and the Nuwapian Nation.
Yeah, okay.
Melchizedek.
I didn't heard of him.
I'm from
I didn't heard of him.
Georgia, so I already know what time it
Oh,
is.
there
And
you
I got
go.
new weapons in my family.
Absolute. You feel me? So yeah, so it's like that's really what it comes down to, is just, giving credit where credit's due. Like, I come up from a stage where I was, before any of these people, I was listening to Dick Gregory, Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett. You know what I'm saying? Those are my old school OGs. You feel what I'm saying? From information that I learned until I found the master teacher, Malachi Z. York, Dr. Malachi Z. York, and that's where I tapped into that frequency. So I'm a student of a lot of these masters. You feel what I'm saying? Learning.
I will give you a word. I apologize for the interruption. Let me give you a word. I like to call myself a philologist. I have a love of learning. It's a love of learning, and it's a love of literature. And when I hear you speak, you sound like you're emitting that exact same frequency.
A
A philologist.
What's your sign, bro?
Philology. Phil. Go ahead.
Bro, like, what's your sign?
What's your
Yeah.
sign? Who could do?
Well, in the Western astrology, I'm what they would call a Virgo, and then exactly, and then if you go to sidereal astrology, I'm actually a Leo with a Gemini moon.
That what's up.
Yep.
I'm I like to look at myself as a like mental health specialist.
Okay.
Oh, so
Hey, absolute.
mental health, man. I
Same sign. I am a
believe that
Virgo.
spiritual people are like nothing more than real spiritual. Than real like mental health specialists. That's basically what it is. You feel me? Like, I don't know about those people who has like the paperwork and the motherfucking like PhDs and shit. You feel me? But the people who real spiritual, that's real mental health. Fighters, warriors.
Absolutely.
I think we're the characters that are here to be authentic, and the rest are to be NPCs until a certain point.
I feel that.
I like that. I like that though.
Because somebody with a PhD, all they can give you is professional opinion, not facts. They give you professional opinions.
But that take you a long way though.
Call it what
like,
you want to
I
call
want
it.
to know why is that power in their hands instead of how I would.
Well, they've got to a certain level of awareness to where they can see certain patterns, and then they just come up with a word for it, come up with a name for it. That's it. But that's all we're doing is they just got a certain level of perception. Even if somebody didn't talk to a psychologist or sociologist or whatever, as long as you get a healthier perspective, that's really all you need. A better perspective. That's all they can get you to do with their words, is get you to look at a situation a different way. That's it.
And it's indoctrinated. Yep.
So they just.
Yep. It's another thing about it. It's an indoctrinated perspective too. So when we deal with a lot of these PhD professionals, they have an indoctrinated perspective of reality based off the way that they were teaching. That's why I appreciate, the Nuwapians, and because a lot of the Nuwapians, what they did is they actually went to certain behind the scenes to navigate the ship in a way to be able to push things, you know what I'm saying? Because people don't know what happens behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? So it's like navigating what I could behind the scenes, dealing with certain people, talking to them, having, conversations that weren't recorded. Like that created a lot of stability that people didn't see for things to, happen the way that they did in a different manner. You feel what I'm saying? So as far as the Nuwapians goes, my understanding of the Nuwapians and even the understanding of Nuwapians as far as how they had a hand in a role in Carbonation's information, that right there came to me after once I left, because then I had a chance to really dive deep into the character that y'all saw who was teaching certain information, to understand that, wow, his information actually came from this dude, and he didn't even give credit and source and cite the information where he got it from, where he wants other people to,
What?
yeah. So there's a lot of
So,
and I'm not here to,
so who the
That's
people
new.
who had the information?
Oh, Dr.
Malachi
Malachi
York,
York, Pan and Bob Yanun, you know what I'm saying, and the Nuwapian Nation.
Yeah, okay.
Melchizedek.
I didn't heard of
I'm
him.
from
I didn't heard of him.
Georgia, so I already know what time it
Oh,
is.
there
And
you
I got
go.
new weapons in my
Absolute,
family.
absolute. You feel me? So yeah, so it's like that's really what it comes down to, is just, giving credit where credit's due. Like, I come up from a stage where I was, before any of these people, I was listening to Dick Gregory, Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett. You know what I'm saying? Those are my old school
Yep.
OGs. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
From information that I learned until I found the master teacher Malachi York, Dr. Malachi York, and that's where I tapped into that frequency. So I'm a student of a lot of these masters. You feel?
I wonder if Tron, aka Whom Kanoom, realizes that he just left one cult to join another. Because, from my understanding, the people who follow Malachi Z. York's teachings, they're technically in a cult. And their leader is currently incarcerated as well.
I'm saying learning.
I will give you a word. I apologize for the interruption. Let me give you a word. I like to call myself a philologist. I have a love of learning. It's a love of learning, and it's a love of literature. And when I hear you speak, you sound like you're emitting that exact same frequency.
A
A philologist.
What's your sign, bro?
Philology. Phil. Go ahead.
Bro, like, what's your sign?
What's your
Yeah.
sign?
I'm
Who can
well, in the Western astrology, I'm what they would call a Virgo, and then exactly, and then if you go to sidereal astrology, I'm actually a Leo with a Gemini moon.
That what's up.
Yep.
I'm I like to look at myself as a like mental health specialist.
Okay.
Oh, so
Hey, absolute.
mental health, man.
Same
I
sign. I am
I
a
believe that
Virgo.
spiritual people are like nothing more than real spiritual. Than real like mental health specialists. That's basically what it is. You feel me? Like, I don't know about those people who has like the paperwork and the motherfucking like PhDs and shit. You feel me? But the people who real spiritual, that's real mental health. Fighters, warriors.
Absolute.
I think we're the characters that are here to be authentic, and the rest are to be NPCs until a certain point.
I feel that.
I like that. I like that though.
Because somebody with a PhD, all they can give you is professional opinion, not facts. They give you professional opinions.
But that take you a long way though.
Call it what
Like,
you want to
I
call
want
it.
to know why is that power in their hands instead of how I would.
Well, they've got to a certain level of awareness to where they can see certain patterns, and then they just come up with a word for it, come up with a name for it. That's it. But that's all we're doing is they just got a certain level of perception. Even if somebody didn't talk to a psychologist or sociologist or whatever, as long as you get a healthier perspective, that's really all you need. A better perspective. That's all they can get you to do with their words, is get you to look at a situation a different way. That's it.
And it's indoctrinated. Yep.
So they just
Yep. It's another thing about it. It's an indoctrinated perspective too. So when we deal with a lot of these PhD professionals, they have an indoctrinated perspective of reality based off the way that they were teaching. That's why I appreciate, the Nuwapians, and because a lot of the Nuwapians, what they did is they actually went to certain, sites in certain areas, and they, just like you have European historians who go and they find all this, archaeological architecture and all these old Sanskrit writings, stuff like that, and they do their own research. Like, that's what our people should be doing, because no one else should be telling our history and our narrative. We should be doing that for ourselves, because that leaves room for a misinterpretation, and that also leaves room for false presentation of who we are. That's what I'm saying. Yep.
100%. 100%. With all that being said, y'all brothers, man, I'm grateful, thankful, and honored that y'all chose to come up and fuck with me tonight. Y'all know I usually don't be up this late, but I appreciate the fuck out of y'all.
All right,
Hey,
Talking
man, we
about,
got to get together, gang.
talking about,
Shit.
I'm about to go to the house.
Sometime, man.
Oh yeah,
man.
Absolute.
you already know, man. Again.
Facts.
You feel me?
All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this video as well as my commentary. Be sure to drop me a comment, smash that like button, and share this video. Guys, thank you so much for your patience, your understanding, and your support during this time that I am re-uploading all of my content to YouTube in order to meet their guidelines. I really appreciate it, guys. I want to give a big shout out to all of my new subscribers. Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. And to all of my OGs, my day ones, my ride or dies, y'all already know what it is. We in the building with it.